Hello, I'd like to welcome you to this maiden edition of our program, The Future Farmer Show. The Future Farmer Show is a program designed for you, that's designed for Zambia, you are Zambia. And we want to see how do we stimulate and inspire our next generation, even the present generation, into taking agriculture from agriculture to agribusiness. We want to see how do we transit, particularly taking advantage of the atmosphere in our nation today when we talk about new opportunities, new dawn and all that. How do we move from talking new dawn to actualizing it to becoming a reality? And this program welcomes you because what we want to do, as the name of the program tells you, is to show you the future in farming. And more importantly, the future farmers. So that's why I say the Future Farmer Show. And the purpose of the program is to take advantage of our environment. If you look at the SDGs, for example, most of us we've never heard of what the SDGs are. Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals. And when you see that, you'll say, what is that about? The UN has been looking, the community, UN is the community of all the world. They sit together and they say, how can we make the world a better place? And they identified 17 areas. And when you look at this program, it is targeting at least 6 of those areas. SDG number 1 is talking about poverty alleviation. SDG number 2 is talking about food security and end of hunger. SDG number 4 is talking about education. This is a form of education. SDG number 5 is talking about gender equality. Some of the people that have been marginalized in farming, they do the most work, they get no pay, the women. How can we bring about a transformation and a mind shift? So this program has a purpose of raising a whole new generation of farmers by changing the mindset of Zambia. And we have been privileged to come into relationship with a leader. They're a Fortune 500 company in the area of agribusiness. They're into mechanized farming, but they are in Zambia working as a model of the future farm. And because of their name, they are the agriculture company. We call them AGCO, your agriculture company, but they are showing us an example of what the future of farming and the future farm can look like. Therefore, we have strategically partnered with them. So this program is a joint production, joint venture between AGCO and the Leadership Farm. Who is the Leadership Farm? We are an organization registered in Zambia that is here to raise the next generation of leaders, that by 2064, we can deliver Zambia a first world nation. It may be a big dream for you, but don't forget, every great thing starts with a dream. If Martin Luther King can dream and they can have Obama, then we can dream and we'll be first world. So in this program, what you should expect from us, what are we getting in this program? The first show, we're looking at how do we look at agriculture and how is it different from agribusiness?
Welcome to the Martin Richenhagen Future Farm, based in Lusaka, Zambia. The Martin Richenhagen Future Farm is a modern state-of-the-art facility offering education and training in mechanized sustainable agriculture for farmers in Zambia and Africa. We offer facilities such as lecture rooms, student accommodation, and a state-of-the-art fitted kitchen and restaurant. We also offer facilities for business and social events. We hope you enjoy your experience here at the Future Farm.
Now we are going straight into it. What is this program about, this one? We're introducing to you the potentials farming has for us. We're coming from a macro level Africa to a micro level Zambia. We're going to look at the head of AGCO Africa. He's going to be telling us about the opportunities and potential we have, particularly because we have the resources. We have 60% of the arable land. Zambia has close to 40% of all the water in Southern Africa. Yet we're still begging and importing food. That opportunity must be maximized. Then we'll come to Kalongo, and Kalongo is going to show us how you can transit from agriculture, which is sustenance, subsistence, to agribusiness, which is a lot of money. And you like money, more money in your pocket. So let's look at what they have for us as we go into the meat of our program. A
Africa is a huge potential. It's a continent with the biggest potential around the world. And very clearly at the moment, the agricultural sector in Africa is not contributing a lot to our business, but is also not contributing to the full extent to the food security in Africa and to the global agricultural side. So, but that is at the moment the current picture. But Africa is by far the continent with the biggest potential to grow agricultural production. So 60% of all unused arable land around the world is in Africa. And for me, it's not even that much to look at the unused arable land and to see how can we increase efficiencies of the land which is in use already. And that is a big point where I think we have a huge opportunity in Africa. And Africa has not just the potential to feed itself, Africa has also the potential to become a main contributor to feed the world. And that's where we at the moment still have a long way to go, but it's a great potential, it's a great opportunity, not just for us as a manufacturer of agricultural machinery, but also of everyone who looks in the agricultural space, who wants to become active in the agricultural space. We see a lot of young entrepreneurs also entering the agricultural space, maybe from different angles than expected.
What is important, I think one is of course having the right practice for farming. And here at the farm, we do have 6 courses, 6 modules that actually put you through the paces of what you need to do at every stage of your crop. We always of course start with, crop establishment, what you need to have for your crop to establish well. We have modules looking at crop nutrition, what you need to feed your crops once they're in the ground, how to manage the crop. You have insecticides, you have pesticides, you have need for water, for instance. How much water do you need? Do you have enough water? For those that are farming in using irrigation, they need to, is the irrigation system ready? Do they know how much water they need? Do they have enough water in their boreholes? And things like that. And we go on all the way up to farm management, because we know that farming is a business. And if we're saying that farming employs 60% of Zambians, it has to be profitable in order for them to benefit from the activity. So apart from that and the modules that we do, we also have modules that look at machine operations, machine maintenance. How do you ensure that if you're a big farmer or a small farmer, you have your one tractor, that one tractor must be in good condition all the time. And even if you have many tractors, all your tractors must be in good state of repair. And we also know that if you don't maintain your machines in good state of repair, that is also another expense that you need to incur. So the good thing is for you to ensure that the machinery and the equipment that you have is well maintained. And we know that good and better maintained machinery means low cost and means more efficient. On top of that, here at the farm, we also do crop trials, where we again continue to generate new knowledge for you. We continue to use new products that are on the market to see how effective and how beneficial they are to both small and big farmers. So that is what we have here on the farm. And it's really endless. I could go on and on talking about what we can do at the farm and how farmers, no matter what size, how they can benefit from associating with this farm and actually taking advantage of the services, of the courses that are available here at the Future Farm.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Now we are back. We want to look at this. Think about this. Why is it that the people that work the hardest earn the most little money? Have you ever thought about it? The laborer goes to a site and he gets 10 kwacha a day. The architect goes to a site and he gets $1,000 an hour just to be on the site. What's the difference? The quality of knowledge. So as a farmer, they tell you, if you don't sharpen your instrument, your axe, to cut down the tree, you may take 12 to 20 days to cut that tree down. But if you had the right equipment, that tree will come down in less than 60 seconds because you are using knowledge, not muscle. People that make money use their minds. People that work for people that make money use their muscle. What is the difference? Knowledge. So now we are going to talk to our experts, which is the biggest reason why we have partnered with AGCO, because of their leadership in this sector. And we want them to teach us why knowledge is important in farming and how machinery changes the game in your agribusiness.
AGCO is a global designer, manufacturer and distributor of agricultural machinery. So AGCO is very much unknown to our customers. It's not a customer-facing brand. AGCO is the holding is a group, but we are producing machines, serving our machines in our brands, our main brands in Africa: Massey Ferguson, Valtra, Fendt, Challenger on the machinery side. And beside that, AGCO also consists of an area with grain and protein solutions, so grain storage solutions, which are sold in GSI brand, and protein production solutions, which are, for example, sold in the Sea Lions brand. So that is our AGCO is purely focusing on providing investment goods to farmers. So we are not servicing. We don't have any segment of commercial machinery or commercial vehicles or construction vehicles. We are only working with farmers. Farmers are our sole customer group, which we are servicing, and that is a unique part about AGCO. We have a very wide offering, as we are not just in the machinery business, but we are also in grain storage, protein production solutions. So we have a very wide product offering to our farmers, but we are purely focusing on servicing farmers. As I said, we are doing that in the machinery side. I think where we have some very well-known brands, and that is a customer-facing brand. So like Massey Ferguson, like Challenger, like Valtra, which we sell here in Zambia. And that is definitely the brands which are very well known, also much older. So Massey Ferguson is sold in Africa since 1947. So we're already since a very long history. Very long history in Africa. We started at 1947. In the 1960s already, a Massey Ferguson tractor was printed on the Ethiopian banknote. So I think in many countries, Massey Ferguson is the word for tractor. And we want to get it back to that, and we want to get back to that point. That I think we have a very wide product range, and we address the full market from emerging farmer, from a small-scale emerging farmer, starting with mechanization up to the very professional and very large-scale farmers. On the other side, I think we have a very full product line, and we want to provide the right solution for every farmer wherever he is, and want to help him to get to the next growth level and to the next level.
Agriculture mechanization involves farmers having tractors to do their operations at their farms. And this is what we are promoting here at AGCO, the Future Farm. Because it's important for farmers to have machinery at their farms to ease their works. The advantages are many of having mechanizing your farms. One would say you do your assignments within a shortest period of time. For example, if you have 10 hectares of land, or maybe even 20 hectares of land to till or to plow, it will take you just few hours to do that assignment, as opposed to one who is going to use animal draft power or even manpower. So again, there is efficiency when it comes to people using machinery, because these tractors we program them. You can set, for example, you can see there's a reaper here that we have hitched. That reaper is there to break the solid pans of our fields. That is the implement that farmers need, and it's one of the implements that we are promoting here at AGCO, the Future Farm. So you set it, if you want it to go maybe between 30 and 40 centimeters deep, it will do just that throughout. So the standardization of work will be equal. There's nothing like here, you reap 5 centimeters deep. On another portion, again, you go deeper than. So when you're using mechanization, the work is standardized. Then we are also looking at efficiency. If you are using the tractor, for example, if you are planting, you've hitched the planter and you are planting your field, you'll be watching what is happening. You'll be monitoring on the screen what is obtaining at the back. And then there's efficiency there. If the planter fails to plant, or maybe the fertilizer is not dropping, immediately you capture that from the screen, and then you correct that situation, as opposed to one who is going to plant using hands or maybe using animal draft power. one seed will be planted maybe deeper, meaning that the germination there won't be equal. So with machinery, you have germination will happen at the same time, and then everything will just grow at the same time. Eventually, you have high production. We have spoken. I've talked about the reaper. I've talked about the planter. Then there are other implements. We have the strip till that we also have. The strip till is an implement that won't disturb the whole field. It will just strip and the till just marking the lines where the planter will come and plant. By so doing, you are not disturbing the soils of your field, you are not shoveling them, and you are discouraging soil erosion. So these are some of the things that we do here at AGCO, the Future Farm. See, we have different types of tractors. This small tractor is a 35 horsepower tractor, which can be used by a small scale or an emerging farmer. So we haven't forgotten about them. Again, we call them and we train them. We have trained farmers in Chongwe, we've trained farmers in Chikankata and other parts of Zambia. So what we do is that we make sure that we bring them here and impart that knowledge unto them. Those who can't afford to get tractors, like a 90 horsepower tractor or a 35 horsepower tractor, we do have agriculture mechanization mobile centers in some places within Zambia. So they can then go and contract those tractors. They are good tractors. They're about 80 horsepower. They're meant for small scale and emerging farmers. So they can contract them. The prices are reasonable. We have one in Chongo, we have another one in Chikankata. Farmers are enjoying, they're using that, and the results are that there is a promotion of high production from what they are doing. Come to the Future Farm for our mechanization trainings. This is what we're going to train you on.
Partnership is a very key function for the Future Farm, and that's because we specialize in mechanized agriculture, and that is what we are, that is who we are. But we also realize that agriculture is really is a partnership between different people, between different suppliers, that have to come together to make this thing work. So for instance, when we do our crop demonstrations, and I'm sure you've seen our current demo, which is the wheat, which is the winter, we're demonstrating the winter crop. We do need chemicals, for instance. For our pesticides, we do need fertilizers, both granule and liquids. We need a lot of things, and we don't produce that. So we bring in partners here who support us by, providing us the chemicals, the fertilizers, the irrigation, the greenhouses. All those partnerships come together to bring to make one package. So it just goes to show that with agriculture, you have to be working with a lot of other people, and it is the same on a small farm, and even an individual farmer like yourself. I'm sure you need to go and buy the seeds from company A, you need to buy the pesticides from company B, and when you have a problem, you need to go to company C, who will give you the advice of what is happening on your crop. So partnerships for us are very important, and we do hope that they will come on board through this platform to also come and just explain what they do, and just describe the benefits of the Future Farm partnership within the country. Welcome to the Martin Richenhagen Future Farm, based in Lusaka, Zambia. The Martin Richenhagen Future Farm is a modern state-of-the-art facility offering education and training in mechanized sustainable agriculture for farmers in Zambia and Africa. We offer facilities such as lecture rooms, student accommodation, and a state-of-the-art fitted kitchen and restaurant. We also offer facilities for business and social events. We hope you enjoy your experience here at the Future Farm.
Hi, welcome back. Wasn't that awesome? Think about it. How agriculture can be so easy if you just put some knowledge. You know, we've had these things with us for a long time. If you look at the tractor, Massey Ferguson Company, it's been in Zambia for close to 100 years. Think about it, even before independence, they've been working here. But most of us still use hoes, and think about it. The machine helps you get accuracies. It helps you get efficiencies. It helps you get the best yield. And we need to move from manual to mechanized if we truly want to take it seriously as a business. And that is what AGCO provides for us, and we're privileged to have AGCO. This is basically the AGCO show teaching us how to do it, because they have the expertise to do it. And we're so glad and privileged to have them do it, because Zambia has a future in farming. Now let's look at the future farmer.
The future farm is really about generating knowledge and knowledge about farming. How can you make knowledge more profitable? How can knowledge work? Not just provide food on your table, but also to be a business. Because we know that farming is really the employment of over 60% of Zambians and actually over 40% of Africans. We all depend on agriculture and we all depend on food. We all have to eat ultimately. So the future farm is really about bringing together the knowledge about farming, the agronomy about farming, best practice, and for the future farm, it introduces one key component that lacks in African agriculture, and that's mechanization. That's what the future farm is all about. The future farm, I know, does deal with commercial farmers, where we're looking at equipment of horsepowers of 100 and above. But we have a very specific mandate to address the emerging farmer, the small-scale farmer. So you find that at the future farm, we have a lot of equipment that is earmarked or targeted for the smallholder farmer, that is below 100 horsepower. We have planters that are, smaller. We have reapers, 2-tine, 3-tine. All these are machinery that are small, and we think that in the long run, as farmers become more profitable, they can afford this sort of machinery. But what we also do that is very interesting at the future farm is the agronomy and best practice, the knowledge that we generate and deliver packaged for the smallholder farmer, for the emerging farmer, so they can understand it in their context. We localize most of our knowledge generation. We localize most of our practices on the farm, so that the emerging farmer can actually see themselves in that practice and begin to adopt some of these, some of these practices and some of these ways of doing things, and some of the machinery that is packaged for them so that they can afford to run that machinery. For example, the 82 horsepower MF tractors that we have are actually intended for the emerging farmer, because we know that it's expensive to run a very big machine. But with a small machine, the emerging farmer can actually work towards acquiring this machine. And if they combine that with the knowledge that we deliver through our agronomy modules, it is really a winning combination. Farming and preparing for your next season is much more than just picking up your hoe or putting your machinery on the ground. It's about planning for the crop. What am I going to grow this year? What do I need? What do I have? What is the gap? I think at the Future Farm, you find that we do a lot of planning before our next cropping season. So for instance, we already have, the spot, where are we going to plant this year? Is the soil ready? What condition is the soil in? Do we have the machinery? Is it ready? Is it in good state of repair? Here at the Future Farm, and that's why we're called the Future Farm, we are looking at how Africans can farm in the future, where they'll not be linked or tied down by the drudgery and the burden of the whole, but they'll have access to machinery, either through ownership or through a good, reliable tractor hire service. We want our farmers to be able to move into farming at another level where it doesn't just break their backs, but it's also profitable. So when you're looking at preparing your next cropping season, I think you need to have your plan in place, the crop you want to plant. We know that if you're planting for your household food security, is it enough? But also sometimes you may want to plant for a business, for sales. Do you have the market ready? What are some of the pricing that are going about? So I think that farming is much more than just going onto the ground and breaking ground. Farming is about having all your plans, having your equipment ready, having your input ready, and actually having the right people around you who know how to manage that crop once it is in the ground.
So with the Future Farm, we are a training center. We are demonstrating different agronomic practices and giving the direction which farming is going, because there's so much innovation that has gone on into farming. So we are showing all the practices starting from the subsistence farmers, so people understand that with subsistence farmers most of the operations are manual, and then people are slowly moving. So we have this group of emerging farmers. It's common in Zambia because some people are acquiring tractors, they have planters, but then they are still carrying out other operations manually. And then we have the commercial farmers who are fully mechanized. All the operations are mechanized. So the demonstrations that we are doing here, we are targeting each farmer group, but within each farmer group we are offering solutions that are relevant to them. If we talk about planting, you'll find that planting is critical to every farmer, but then because of the different operations that these farmer groups are doing, so we intend to address it accordingly. So if I'm talking about the small scale farmers, I'll talk about maybe a 2-row planter, what they should do to get, say, good plant population. Commercial farmer also needs good plant population, but then maybe they would need additional technologies because of the level of machinery. So with our projects that we are doing here, they are addressing all the farmer groups, but all in all providing solutions, because we are providing solutions with farming, like I said, in as much as it's innovative, but it keeps changing. We have pests that we never had 10 years ago. So what do we do to protect our crop? Because we have to continue farming. So our crop is threatened with these pests. What is the solution? Farmers there want solutions, and this is what we are doing here. And we can only devise these solutions by practically conducting the cropping projects. Jumping into agriculture, as most people, I think we've seen this trend that, of course, we are aware that agriculture, there's this tremendous potential in agriculture, which is true, and people are jumping onto it. But people need to be aware that agriculture is a business. It requires planning. And each farmer should define the goals. They should define their targets, and it's an investment. So they have to, when they put in the money in agriculture, they have to ensure that they get return on their investment. It's a business like any other, because you have to buy the inputs, you have to buy the machinery, you have to pay for labor costs, maybe you even have to acquire the land. So you jump onto it, but it's important to understand that it's a business and you need to get your returns out of it. And this is where the discipline comes in, into all the practices that you do, and accountability as well, decision making, ensuring that you have good record keeping, because you need the records to make your decisions. So it's a business like any other, in as much as people might think it's just planting the seed, but you've bought the seed, you want that seed to give you the yield, you want to sell your grain, and the cycle continues. So yes, people can jump onto it, but it's a business and it requires all the discipline that goes with business. So to the farmers, the existing farmers, what is key with farming and the future of farming is that you need to be knowledgeable. you need to understand your soils, you need to understand your crops, you need to understand that this is a business, and it also calls for passion. You have to be passionate about it so that you don't give up. But all in all, those who stayed in it, I think the results are showing. So we want to feed the nation, we want to feed the growing population, so we need to have the knowledge. We need to understand our practices, we need to understand our operations, and all in all, we have to remain sustainable. Farming should not mean that we destroy our soils. Farming should not mean that we destroy the environment. We have to remain sustainable, and that's why knowledge is key in understanding how each operation that we undertake on the farm impacts on the other system, the ecosystem. If we are going to till our land, we need to understand that we've got organisms in the soil, and how is this impacted with what we are doing. So we need this knowledge in order for us to be productive.
Welcome to the Martin Richenhagen Future Farm, based in Lusaka, Zambia. The Martin Richenhagen Future Farm is a modern state-of-the-art facility offering education and training in mechanized sustainable agriculture for farmers in Zambia and Africa. We offer facilities such as lecture rooms, student accommodation, and a state-of-the-art fitted kitchen and restaurant. We also offer facilities for business and social events. We hope you enjoy your experience here at the Future Farm. The Future Farm is a one-stop shop for all farmers. Apart from agronomy, we know that once you've harvested your cereal, for instance, it has to be stored somewhere. So on the farm, one of the courses that we actually disseminate here at the farm is storage solutions. So how do you store your crop? What do you need to do to store your crop properly? I just learned by being on this farm that you don't just pick up your cereal, for instance, and just put it in your storage. You need to worry about things like moisture, how much moisture is in the cereal, in your maize, in your soya. You need to be aware of all these aspects when it comes to storage. You also need to prepare your storage before you use it. You have to clean it out. Is it free of insecticides? For instance, maize and cereals attract a lot of weevils. You make sure that all those are out there, clean it out, remove any spores and eggs that might be in the storage bin so that it's clean and it's safe for your crops. And we have different storage options. We have the very big for huge farmers, and we have the small ones for smallholder farmers and emerging farmers and wishful farmers like myself. And on top of that, we also know that now there's a lot of integrated farming that is going on. People want to have crops, they also want to have small animals. And so what we've done here on the farm is to have one of our solutions for poultry farming. So we have a poultry learning center where we'll teach about poultry farming. Of course, our poultry farming is really through controlled environment training. Again, we want to move our poultry farming to another level because we are a future farm. We want to be futuristic in terms of encouraging but also exposing our local farmers as to what is out there. So our poultry farming is controlled farming. That's what we teach here, and we also teach other things of how to feed your poultry while it's in the house, how to keep it clean, and also how to ensure that all the sort of different hygiene environment and also sort of processes of how you keep the house clean and how you dispose of waste, and how you ensure that the next set of birds that goes into your house is also coming into a very clean and already ventilated building. So all those are some of the very important key things that we do around the farm. The other thing that we also do around the farm really is to just look at how you can integrate people and farming activities in one space on the farm, and how all these things integrate and they all sort of link into each other, because we know that also farms are living places where people live, and not everyone might be engaged directly into the activities, but at the end of the day, they are all linked up and it is a living place. So it's a one-stop shop.
Vision statement is we want to provide farmer-focused solutions to sustainably feed the world, and that is the target that we have. And so we need to look at what problems do the farmers currently have. Where are the obstacles? Where are the stumbling blocks? The challenges which we need to overcome. And then we are trying here with our trials, which we do here, to find solutions for that and to show what we can do differently and how farmers can work in a better way. So one other example is tillage trials. And we work on that disc plow is still a very widely used tillage implement across Africa. But it doesn't have a very positive impact on your soil condition in the long run. So we are also doing comparisons of different tillage schemes, so from no-till to a ripping or a strip-till solution to disc plow, and show what are the impacts on your yields, what are the impacts on your soil conditions, and how does it impact your business as a farmer. And so that's what we are doing here, and that's what we're incorporating in our training courses. That's what we can show, also hands-on experience, giving the farmers the experience to see it with their own eyes and to feel it, and that's what we're doing here. And that way it works very well. So I think there's always new challenges which we need to find solutions for. That never comes to an end. That is not that we are not. That's nothing where we are in for a short time. That's something where we will constantly work on and constantly improve on, and then work on all the challenges which are upcoming there. And that's the way how we operate that farm. I think we have changed the setup here quite a bit. In the beginning, we have started 2012 for that farm. Yeah. We had we call it the second phase of the future farm, where we've invested more than $5 million in 2019, 2020 to increase the infrastructure here on the farm. I said we have seen some areas where it was difficult for people from other areas to access the training. So we've built our accommodation here. We have student accommodations here. We've built a canteen here. So we're really ramping up the infrastructure that is accessible for everyone, and that everyone has a possibility to make use of the offerings that we are. We have a very much integrated system here, and we want to show several things. So first of all, we want to show that we want to showcase a sustainable way of farming. So we have a very trying to look at what I just mentioned with our trials, finding most sustainable ways of how you produce your crops and how you can make money with producing your crops, which is always a very important factor for the farmers, the most important one. It's a business. And secondly, and then to see what can we do over and above that. How can we make sure that our footprint on that world is positive as well? So we are not we're looking at the sustainability just in terms of the farming, but also in terms of the farm operations. So we have our community living on the farm. We are trying to incorporate also that elements in terms of having proper use of our resources also within the village. And on the other side also taking care of the people in the village. And we've built a community center here, we've built a church on the farm. So we're trying to incorporate all these elements together and being a kind of a lighthouse in terms of how it can work in a efficient way, but at the same time in a sustainable way.
Welcome to the Martin Richenhagen Future Farm, based in Lusaka, Zambia. The Martin Richenhagen Future Farm is a modern state-of-the-art facility offering education and training in mechanized sustainable agriculture for farmers in Zambia and Africa. We offer facilities such as lecture rooms, student accommodation, and a state-of-the-art fitted kitchen and restaurant. We also offer facilities for business and social events. We hope you enjoy your experience here at the Future Farm.
Welcome back. It's been such an informative, very, very entertaining program for me. I wonder how it has been for you. Now, this is the Future Farmers Show. It comes up every Sunday on CBC television, on live television as well, at 14 hours. So check for CBC on your DSTV, on your GoTV, check for live TV on your Topstar bouquet, and you have it there. We will work to get to other TV stations as well, so everybody can get it. But farming and the future farmer is key to us. So join us. I want you to join us every Sunday, because this is a money matter. It's going to make you a lot of money. It's going to take your family out of need to surplus and abundance. It's not just going to give you sustainability, it's going to give you wealth. Farming is the next frontier to the future wealth of our families. Let's get into farming, everybody. Now, we've come to the end of our program, and we have looked at different things. We've looked at why agriculture must shift to agribusiness and the opportunity it had. We've looked at why we engaged, and we're so privileged to have AGCO as our partners. And we've seen what they bring to the table, and gives us such competitive edge when you put knowledge to farming. We must change the way we farm if we are going to make anything out of farming. So we showed you what the future farmer looks like and what the future farm should entail. Now we're going to go into the real deal now. We're going to go into programming and showing you how to do it. So we're going to look at next edition. We're going to have some of the experts with us, because we have moved from stage one, but it will come. You will see us do that. We want you to partner with us. Make it a date every time on Sunday, 14 hours, because we need to do this together. We are building our Zambia together. Okay? Think not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your family, for your children's children, and for your country, Zambia. Let's do this. Okay? So join us next time as we have the Future Farm, and we are looking at crop planning. How do I go into farming? I have to plan. Notice, if you don't plan to succeed, you are planning to fail. Most people fail because they never sit down to think and plan. So we want to start the process. We are into planting already because of the rains have come, but we still want you to get the full picture. You start with thinking, you start with planning, but I won't tell you what to do. I will get the experts to tell you what to do. And then when you learn that part, we begin to adapt ourselves to where we are in our whole process of farming. We're going to look at the whole value chain. We're going to look at what type of soil. You must consider that. The acidity of your soils. What type of inputs do you need? What soil, what grows in a soil? You must choose all those. Who are the human resource you need? Which people do you need to partner? You can't do it alone. Nobody does it alone. SDG number 17, partnerships. So if we want to beat poverty, we must do it with partnerships. If we want to beat food security and we want to have sustainability in everything, we must do it together. So please do it with us. Believe me, you need this to turn it around. This is a game changer, and you don't want to miss our next edition. My name is Richenhagen. It has been an awesome time being with you. We have really, and all our thanks to our partners, AGCO, your agriculture company.
The Future Farm is really about generating knowledge and knowledge about farming. How can you make knowledge more profitable? How can knowledge work? Not just provide food on your table, but also to be a business. Because we know that farming is really the employment of over 60% of Zambians and actually over 40% of Africans.
The benefits of of having mechanization on our farms, quite a number of them. One of them is you have good quality of work on your farm.
So to the existing farmers, what is key with farming and the future of farming is that you need to be knowledgeable.